Good morning. I think I am live. Just waiting to hear my own voice on YouTube. I think I am live. Okay. So let's begin. I am live. If anybody is in the chat, if anybody in the chat can say yes, if audio and visual are okay, can hear you. Okay. Okay, so please read the disclaimer. I am live. Let's go. So let's begin. If anybody is in the chat, if anybody in the chat can say yes, if audio and visual are okay. Okay, so I hope my trading view screen is visible. I won't be referring to the chat anymore. Focus on the business. Yeah. So time is 9:37 a.m. right now. We have 9:30 a.m. Fed Chairman Mr. Powell speaking. So this is the manipulation that is happening because of his speech, more prominent in NASDAQ. But first, we'll do the top-down analysis. So time is 9:37 a.m. right now. We have 9:30 a.m. Actually, I'll just load the chat on my phone. Speech more prominent in NASDAQ, but first, I just want to look at the chat because I don't know why, but I keep thinking on that I may not be audible anymore and the stream may crash. That's why I'm looking at the chat. Okay. If you have questions during the stream, you can ask, but I may not answer according. I'll answer according to myself. Okay, my convenience. So let's go to the dollar index. So yesterday I was talking about how. Let's go to the weekly chart first. Yeah, yesterday I was talking about how this was the daily fair gap. We touched it and we wicked outside of it, but the body is respected. Then we declined. We had this weekly busy here that we came back. The body is violated this weekly busy on the weekly chart. This candle right here violated it. We delivered buy side, we delivered sell side, we rebalanced it last week, and this is the current week right now. And I talked about how this weekly BC level is important, and let's go to the daily now. Yesterday I also talked about this fair value gap right here. I stated it very clearly that we gave back chart. This candle right here violated it. Buy side, sell side, we rebalanced it last week. Can you hear anything else in the background right now? And I talked about how this weekly BC level is important, and let's go to the daily now. I also talked about like right now. Right, I stated it very clearly. Hear anything else in the background right now? Like right now. Oh, sorry, my bad. Okay, I think you won't be able to hear anything anymore apart from my voice. So I'll continue. I had my YouTube running in another window. I don't have my earphones plugged in. That's why I couldn't hear it. Okay. Thank you for telling me. I hope the audio is clear now. It's only my voice now. Okay. Let's move ahead. I'll talk about it again if the audio was not clear. So we were on the weekly chart for dollar index, and we talked about how this weekly BC level is important for this current week. And then we moved on to the daily chart. And I talked about yesterday how for if it was supposed to go, if it was bearish, I talked about how I wanted the mean threshold of this order block right here to be violated. I talked about this. My soft bias was bearish, but I said clearly that I want the mean threshold of this order block to be violated. That would be a confirmation for me. And then after violating this bearish order block, act as a bearish breaker. And also I talked about how I want this to be an inversion fair value gap. I marked it red because if it was bearish, it should have acted as an inversion fair value gap. But it when the day closed, we can see how the body respected the opening price of the daily order block, these two candles right here, and it never violated the mean threshold of the order block. So that is not good for bearishness. Not saying that it's not bearish on the weekly chart. Right now, we are inside of this dealing range right here, from this high to this low. That's how I look at it. And also, I will still keep this weekly BC level. I think it will be important in the current week, this week. So right now it's a Wednesday. I think why it's showing it's a Tuesday. Yeah, it's a Wednesday. I don't know why this is showing Tuesday, but I'll remove it. The date is 27. Oh, the date is 28. I don't know what happens that. I'll remove that. I'll fix it later. Okay, so yeah, we're on the daily chart for dollar index. We had a push higher from the order block, and we have again filled the weekly BC level. So my mind is thinking right now that we are inside of this dealing range from this high to this low. It will be more clear on the hourly chart or lesser time frames, but I'm thinking I'm neutral on dollar right now. Right now, I'm absolutely neutral because also we have the Fed chair speaking. So I'm absolutely neutral right now on dollar index. Let's go to the hourly. Yeah, we have a push higher. Yesterday, I was talking about how I wanted these levels to resist price and break the mean threshold of the order block for bearishness. That's what I wanted. That was my soft bias. I clearly stated that that was my soft bias for dollar. But for confirmation, dollar needs to violate the mean threshold of the order block for a confirmed bearish bias for me. That's what I stated clearly yesterday. Yeah, so right now we have reclaimed the weekly BC inversion level. So right now I'm absolutely neutral on dollar, and also we have the Fed chair speaking. So I'm not anticipating any kind of a setup forming today. I may not get a setup today. Today is maybe just be a tape reading session. I will just go and check the economic calendar again. I just like to check it again and again, time to time, regularly, because you don't want to be in front of a news driver that you forgot to check on. So yeah, 9:30 a.m. we have US Fed chair speaking. We had that. It's 9:46 right now. And thank God I had the chat open. So now, otherwise the whole stream would have been two voices, my voice and my YouTube voice. Yeah, so we have 9:30 Fed Chair Powell speaking that happened already. We had this push higher on dollar. I just check the 15-minute. Again, yeah, I see fair value gaps, I see everything, but still I'm not comfortable forming a bias right now on the dollar index. We also have this fair value gap right here. So until we break this high or we break this low, I think until we break the dealing range, upside or downside, I'm not formulating any bias. Yeah. So let's go to the ESU 2023. Let's go to the weekly. Again, just a second. Just have some water. Yeah, we are on the weekly chart for E-mini S&P 500 September contract, because this is the current contract month, the most liquid. We dipped, we had a small fair value gap this week on the weekly chart right here. And I talked about this yesterday, but we are going to revise everything top down again. We have this weekly SIBI that we've delivered sell side, that has delivered sell side. We have delivered buy side 1 week ago. And the last week, I think we rebalanced it and left a small little fair value gap on the weekly chart. This week, we dipped inside of that fair value gap. And I think we completely filled it. Yeah, I think we completely filled it. So this right now is a balanced price range. This sell side, buy side, rebalanced. So my soft bias again is dollar going lower and E-mini S&P reaching up into the liquidity void and the volume imbalance. That's actually a very soft bias. Like that's like a small part of me, like very small part of me that wants that. But the analyst says that don't formulate any bias right now. Like any long-term bias, be nimble. So we'll go to the daily now. Again, we've been talking about this for a long time. I don't know how many streams we talked about it, but again, we're going to revise it. Sell side below these two lows, CPI low, FMC low. Sell side taken yesterday with in the New York session. After taking it out in the London session, I talked about this yesterday, how I wanted another dip below the sell side liquidity below these lows in the New York session, and it delivered. And you can see how clearly, how beautifully we respect the bodies of the candles, even the wicks, I think, respected the daily fair value gap, which also coincides with the weekly fair value gap. Both of those levels are more or less the same. So I have not marked the weekly fair value gap because the daily fair value gap does the job. And yeah, we had a push higher, a large range day yesterday that I anticipated, but I timed it incorrect. I was my targets, what I was targeting was delivered, but my timing was offside. I got chopped up inside of the consolidation. So yeah, but yeah, it delivered. The drawn liquidity was delivered yesterday. Let's go to the hourly. We completely filled any kind of every inefficiency right in this down move low. All of this fair value gap. If you look at it on the 4 hour, maybe it will be more. On the 4 hour, we have the order block right here, but I'm trying to make it clearly visible. Like, say this. We completely filled in all the inefficiency inside this range. And now we are retracing downwards. Just give me a minute. Okay, let's go. Hourly chart, fair value gap. We also have this fair value gap. So I have to go. Just give me a minute. Okay, I'm back. So if someone was at the door. Okay, so I was talking about, yeah, we had a large range day yesterday that we were anticipating, but not anticipating was chopped. I got chopped up here, missed the entire move right here. But yeah, no problem. So this is the midnight opening candle. And yeah, we had a total soup here. Will the inefficiency, this one, and we are having a decline right now with after the Fed Chair Powell speaking. That is what I see. We have this fair value gap here, so I'll outline it. I will say the hourly. Just another check. If I'm clearly audible and visible, can you please say yes? If you're having any trouble with the stream, just say it in the chat. I have it open. Okay, thank you. Okay, okay, okay. So, yeah, let's go again. Setting up the charts on the other monitor. Yeah. So side by side, let's have a look at NQ as well. Clearly an SMT divergence right here, NQ is stronger. Yeah, but we'll do a top-down analysis on NQ as well. Weekly chart, yeah, the fair value gap here completely, it filled it completely. The same analysis like we did on ES. Daily chart, again, sell side taken, completely repriced up to the low of this. You see, same thing as ES. Hourly chart, a relatively stronger one, having this SMT divergence right now. It didn't make the lower low as ES did. So yeah. Repriced up to this inefficiency right here. If it's looking for buy side, I think it should go into this inefficiency, taking out this buy side above these highs. More importantly, these two relative equal highs, there's a lot of buy side equity there. Yeah. Just marking the inefficiency that it can target. Consequent encroachment of this wick, that should support price. Not saying it will absolutely go there and then go higher. That can be a level, but I'm talking too much right now. It's a difficult situation because we had a large range day yesterday and we have power manipulation today. So it's wise to stay cautious. Be cautious today. Go to the 15. Yeah. Small little fair value gap here. If we break this low, I think this fair value gap may be next. Okay, I think 30-minute is a lot clear. So institutional order flow for ES for right now, currently short term, it's bearish, clearly. Let's see how we react off of these levels. Again, I'm anticipating a choppy session. Session might be too much to say, but anticipating some kind of a chop in this hour. Because we had a large range day yesterday, because we have power manipulation today at 9:30 we had that, and because we have taken out buy side as well as sell side. So choppiness is anticipated. I'm not going to the 1 minute time frame right now, because when you're expecting choppiness, it's very easy to get lost in the lower time frames and see a lot of setups forming and then all of those setups failing on you. That's why I'm not going to the lower time frames. Concepts work in these choppiness as well. The draw on liquidities will be delivered in these rough conditions. But one thing, point one, you have to be really experienced and in control of your emotions to navigate in these situations and take a trade. And point two, why do you want to do that anyways? Because you can just trade the easy conditions and just be a part of low resistance liquidity runs. Not worth it. These conditions not worth it. Even Nasdaq, the relatively stronger one, I think this will be quite a brutal tape reading session today. What's noteworthy right now is equities chopping and dollar index rallying. Yesterday, equities were rallying hard and dollar index chopped. What does that tell you? The dollar is failing. No, sorry, correction. Equities are failing to go lower with the rally in dollar. That's what it tells me. So what does that mean? That equities are very strong right now. Now, right now does not mean right now, like it won't have a down move. That's what not what I'm saying. Like on an hourly chart, on a daily chart, equities are having equities are showing strength. Dollar index is very close to the inefficiency I talked about. This one. So with the rally in dollar, we have this decline in equities, in ES specifically. Now I do think for ES, 4416 level can happen. This. Although it is a weaker one than NASDAQ, NASDAQ will go much higher, but 4416.75. Above that, we also have an inefficiency on the 15-minute chart. This inefficiency. Yeah. This may be possible today. I mean, today, obviously, but but it's a difficult chop right now. So I'm not trusting the market structure inside of this chop. I'm not trusting it, but I do think it will go here and attack the buy side liquidity above this high. Once we take out this high, I think that's a market structure shift bullish for me. I like this impulse. Yeah, so now pretty much I think it's a market structure shift bullish. And you can see how expansive it is, how fast it is, how big of an expansion this is right now. Why? Because it is the successive market profile, and the market profile is expansion. And what comes before expansion? Please say it in the comment section. I am hinting with my cursor. Consolidation, absolutely. Consolidation, expansion. And you can see how I think it was around here when I said that it was supposed to go higher. Time, then price. And yes, NASDAQ is the relatively stronger one. It's going to the buy side liquidity that I outlined. You can rewind and just skim through and look at the level. It's 15,155.25. This is typically actually what I was expecting. I was not expecting some kind of a setup forming. I stated it clearly that it's manipulation day, it will chop, and it most likely won't provide me a setup. Because typically when it's chopping, it's basically consolidating and taking out liquidity on both sides. It took out liquidity above this high, took out liquidity below this low. So after consolidating and chopping, it's pretty much an expansion move, and it's difficult to find a setup inside of the expansion move. And more important than that, you may get it wrong. I may get it wrong. The timing aspect of it. We also have a new day opening gap today on ES. You can see it now. Yeah, this rectangle, I'll shade it with let's do black. This is the new day opening gap. When the markets closed yesterday at 16:15. I'm sorry, at 16:45 and opened at 18. That's the new day opening gap. I would take if I was long, I would have taken a partial with the new day opening gap. But I'm not comfortable longing in this situation right now. Fair value gap, 5-minute. I think it will dip inside of it. It touched it. The low of this candle is 4406.5. The low of this candle is 4406.5. I mean, I will still call it an institutional order flow entry drill, even though, but again, I'm not interested. Also, the fact that ES is the weaker one today. I think it should reach up to the new day opening gap at least. If it rallies, I think it will be expansion to the upside up to the new day opening gap. Because we've moved back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, completely balancing it. So I think in the next 1 or 2 minutes, now if I was long, I would place my stop loss up till here, 44.37. That would have been better than break even if I was long. Nasdaq buy side liquidity that I outlined at 15,155, very close to it. With the spike in that buy side, I think new day opening gap will be delivered. Buy side liquidity engaged and new week opening gap, new day opening gap delivered. I think I'm 1 minute late. No, I said at 10:30 it will deliver. So in 1 to 2 minutes. Okay. Respecting it beautifully. Buy side liquidity engaged in Nasdaq as well. I would have taken a maximum position off at this new day opening gap. So I think this should be it today. I would have left a small runner on for the buy side, but since I'm expecting a difficult day, take maximum position off here. This would be it today. Small stream, but I think this should be enough for today. If you have any questions today, I'm here to answer. Now you can shoot it because this is the end of the stream. I'm thinking about doing this on Zoom again because I'm not concerned about the fact that we have a delay. I'm concerned about the fact that there is also a delay for me when I say something and the chat replies. There's a delay in that. Okay, all good. Thank you. So this would be it. Closing the stream now. Have a good day. See you some other time. And Nasdaq delivered with the red shaded fair value gap, and ES will deliver this buy side liquidity as well. So take maximum off here. This is what I'm talked about earlier in the stream. Like we have this inefficiency here, touched it, buy side taken as well. So yeah, this would be it for today. Have a good day. See you some other time. Thank you for watching.